Opinion Visuality of Operation Sindoor, a cultural display in strategic communication after the Pahalgam massacre of innocent tourists on April 22, 2025, the world witnessed India's carefully calibrated response against terrorism, which underlined the surety of punishment. Central to this fight against terrorism was strategic communication. Emotions were running high as people consumed the raw barbarity of the massacre inside the valley, which was as usual reflected and amplified through television news channels, YouTube, and WhatsApp. There was a constant barrage of videos across screens of the mayhem unleashed by the terrorists on the basis of religious segregation. Stories of Jakar Modai ko Batao go and tell Modai by a grieving wife went viral, and the photograph of the shocked wife sitting beside her husband's dead body lying in a pool of blood soon became the visual trope of emotions like shock, pain, and trauma inflicted in the Bazaran Valley. Even as emotions became a genre and television studios packaged it to the hilt, Prime Minister Narendra Modi responded with a warning and a promise. The national and international community was enjoined in keeping up with the patience to witness the unimaginable response to the perpetrators of terror and their sponsors. In the next few days, the political dispensation ensured an integrated strategic communication plan was put in place. The team kept a strict vigil that was marked by quick warnings to the media wherever required. The nefarious designs of the terrorists to precipitate a communal backlash in India were thwarted as people showed remarkable sensitivity and restraint. The government machinery sent constant advisories to media and the public to be careful of any disinformation. On May 7, when India launched Operation Sindoor, the first official communication came in the form of a crisp and concise press note. The curtain raiser set the tone for more to come. Both the national and foreign media were scrambled to scour every little detail of the IAF's precision strikes at terrorist camps in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Mindful of the full media gaze and media biases, both national and international, New Delhi parted only with the name and the objectives of the operation before the new normal began to take shape. Operation Sindoor symbolized an emotion embedded in retribution for the cold-blooded massacre of innocent men in front of their wives. The name was a perfect context-sensitive metaphor for retribution used for India's collective emotion and for maximizing its impact to assuage the feelings of the victims and impact the psyche of the terrorists. The message resonated across all sections worldwide, which was a visual representation of a shared expression and assertion of Hindu cultural imagination central to the identity of those who were massacred. Sindoor, or vermilion, is a sacred symbol of power as a part of the Hindu conception of feminine spirituality, the divine feminine energy manifested in the form of Shakti. It is this divine power of the feminine which is central to India's civilizational ethos. Sindoor symbolizes the invocation of this Shakti or power in variety of ways. Married women adorn it as a symbol for invoking power of love, devotees adorn it as a symbol of power of reverence, warriors adorn it as symbol of power of courage. The design of O and logo with the strewed sindoor symbolized this power, a visual expression of New Delhi's response to the deliberate trauma inflicted on the women by the terrorists. The use of color in the aesthetics of logo, red symbolizing anger and retribution, black symbolizing gloom and death, were aimed to hit hard on the psyche of the terrorists that for India, every life matters. In the days ahead, several new visual tropes appeared, with many of them recurring in the media briefings. And when all eyes were on the first official media briefing by New Delhi, little did the audience realize that it will be a unique cultural display, strategically designed to deliver the message of India's war on terror. India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri walked in, accompanied by the two women defense officers with a task clearly cut out, purposeful and goal-oriented. While the Foreign Secretary chose to follow a descriptive style, the news of the day was delivered by two women officers of the Indian Armed Forces, Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyamika Singh. This deliberate choice of the Indian establishment was a masterstroke. Terrorists spared the women in the Pahalgam attack to carry back the message. New Delhi responded by choosing women officers to deliver the message, who became the face of India's right to respond. Media briefings became a cultural display where women took center stage as official representatives of the Indian democracy, symbolizing secular credentials of its constitution. New Delhi ensured a nationalistic and secular response to the enemy's evil designs. From one media briefing to another, these women soon catapulted into a visual trope of retribution on screen, communicating the imagery of destruction unleashed on Pakistan's terror infrastructure. With every cursor that the women moved on the video screens, to show the before and after of the satellite image evidence on the destruction inside Pakistan, it revealed and reinforced the unyielding resolve delivered by New Delhi. The message was loud and clear that Indian women are not just bodies, they are capable to hit back where it will hurt the most, both professionally and precisely. As India's defense forces wreaked havoc on Pakistan, the visual proof of this narrative of destruction was delivered with the instrumental rendition of Shiva Tandov Strodam at one of the media briefings. The Strodam was a sound trope used to represent the anger of the Hindu cultural deity Shiva. The sound of damad damad damad, with its repetition, suggests the wild resonance of Shiva's damru as he sways in Tandeva, the divine dance. Dogad dogad in the verse suggests imitation of the sound of a raging flame, a reference to Shiva's third eye that burns on his forehead at the time of destruction. Clearly the construction of this visuality of war, rooted in Ramayan, was a cultural element deliberately used to maximize the impact of the message delivered that the Indian defense systems had destroyed Pakistan's key military installations in response to their attacks. The finality in the visuality came with the use of select lines Yahunanahina Branhaga from the epic Rashmi Rathi, written by national poet Ramdhari Singh Dinkar. The lines from this iconic epic were used as a metaphor for the rationale of India's right to respond. Clearly, the visuality was aimed at creating a shared cultural experience of justice being delivered to a deeply scarred and traumatized nation. As the images of destruction caused by the hammer, scalp, and Brahmos were revealed, one by one, weaving in the audio from the Hindu cultural texts to create a powerful narrative. Indian Defence Forces chose to exhibit the satellite images as the most valuable proof of destruction caused inside Pakistan by weaving in a powerful audio-visual narrative. Swipe left for next video. Visuality of the media briefings was aimed at showcasing India's steely resolve. Operation Sindoor, marked by the liberal use of metaphors and visual tropes from India's civilizational and democratic ethos, was part of a carefully crafted communication strategy. The cultural flavor of this visual narrative will linger on as part of India's narrative of war against terrorism. New Delhi successfully showcased to the world that, given the political will, it has the capability to strategically communicate in the most imaginative ways. Dr. Shuchi Yadav is the Professor Chairperson, Center for Media Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Views expressed in the above piece are personal and solely those of the author. They do not necessarily reflect NEWS18's views. Latest blogs.